Grandma's Kitchen.
There's a fiddle tune and a wooden spoon while she's stirring and singing. There's friends leaving or family land, and then the phone's usually ringing. No matter who you are or what you've done, everything's forgiven.
Thank God. Thank God.
Thank God. Grandma's Kitchen. And ain't it good to be in Grandma's Kitchen?
Grandma's Kitchen.
Hello everyone, Mary Janet here from Tunes and Wooden Spoons, and how is everyone? And welcome to another wonderful Sunday with sunshine, and it's been a beautiful week, and we have some wonderful entertainment today from the Cheticamp area. And the Cheticamp is, of course, an Acadian village, a beautiful village north of Port Hood, quite a piece. And just we'll hear some wonderful songs and a little chat about the Acadian culture, and with Nicole Deveau and her cousin Michelle Deveau. So I'm pretty happy about that. And so today we are having to make some banana nut muffins. But out there, if anybody has a little jar of Nutella, I'm going to make maybe 3 of the muffins with some Nutella and just add that, but you don't have to. So anyway, hi Ann Boudreau. Hello Rosemary Sutherland. Great to see all these wonderful familiar names. This has been a crazy busy week. I'm headfirst into this cookbook, these cookbook deadlines. Got some good news this week that I didn't even realize. I was thinking the cookbook was going to be ready in mid-October, and in actual fact, it's going to be ready in early September. So I'm furiously meeting a mid-June deadline and getting all of those things into the publisher. Now, for those of you who are wondering, I've got lots of requests of people wondering when it will be out and where it's going to be available and how to order and all of that. And you know what? This is the publisher's book. They're doing it, and I'm providing the content, and they are going to be making everyone aware and be making an announcement on my Tunes and Wooden Spoons page, so that we'll have to just wait and see, because I can't answer your questions about where it'll be available. But I know that they have a great production line there that it'll be in all of the bookstores across Canada, I'm told. So we're a hi Bernice, that's my sister. And anyway, let's get on this, and we're going to start. I'm going to put the bowl down. This week I have my my trusty little tripod on the table again, and it'll be better to see inside the bowl. But I hope some of you enjoyed last week where we made the soup and the biscuits. A lot of people got in touch with me. Some people said that they found it too thick. If you found it too thick, maybe the 3 potatoes that you use, because potato is a thickener, really. And just add some more chicken broth, or add a little milk in it to make it a little thinner. But yeah, it is a great soup. Hi, Linda from Bedford. From Ponoka, Alberta, I guess. Anyway, great stuff. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to go wash my hands, and I want you to preheat your oven to 350. There's my oven. It's all ready. Hi, from Lardois, Eleanor Sampson. Hello there. Okay, I'm going to turn this down so that you can have a look inside my bowl. And I hope you can see that. There we go. I think that's pretty good. And we're going to start. We'll get to the dry ingredients in a minute, but we're going to mix up the bananas right now. So 3 medium bananas. This is the way I like my bananas for making banana bread or muffins. I have a freezer full of black bananas, but I'm seriously, I just don't like the yuckiness of them. And a lot of the times our co-op, like so many stores, will put the bananas in a little paper sack, and they're the aged bananas, and you can use them if you're making lots of banana bread and muffins. Now that music that you're hearing, you might remember a while ago I had Rita Rankin on the show, Gaelic singer, English singer, just very versatile. And that's a very long ago album that they put out. I'm just using a fork, by the way, squashing up my bananas. And that's their CD called Lantern Burn. And Rita has a very amazing artist brother, Peter, who painted the picture that is featured on the album cover. It's so pretty. Okay, so there is our 3 bananas. And when they call for 3 bananas like that, you know what? If they're small bananas, use 3. If they're really big bananas, I'd say use 2 and maybe a half of another or something. Just use your own judgment. And I just like to get it kind of creamy. Okay, we're all good with that? All right, and into this, we're going to add 2/3 cup of white sugar. I'm using a 1/3 cup measure. That's 1, and that's 2/3. And we're going to need 1 egg. And for the most part, most of the time, although I may not say it, but for the most part, I usually take my egg out about, I don't know, half an hour before I start. And have it at room temperature. But you can do whatever you want. I'm not mixing any of this. I'm just going to add these few ingredients. So about a teaspoon of vanilla. And a half a cup of melted butter. I have a half a cup of butter here. I'm just going to throw it into the microwave and bring it to melting. Hi. Every time I look into the phone there, I'm looking at my hair. And this week, I'm going to get a hair appointment because it's growing like a bad weed. Okay, hold on a second. So I'm missing all these good little comments that people talk about the soup or whatever. Oh, hi, darling. I have Ivor here today. This is Mitchell's middle boy. Ivor, do you want to say hi? Well, I'll just turn it around so they can see you. Are you going to say hi to everybody?
Hi, Dad.
Say hello.
Hi.
He's a cutie pie. Hi from Winnipeg, Donna Skull. Hello there. Now I put that in for 30 seconds. And there's just a couple of little lumps in there, which is just fine. Okay, before I put the melted butter in though, I'm gonna mix up my egg. And I'm just gonna mix this with a fork. So put you down again. Just slowly, I'm gonna put that in there. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to throw together the dry ingredients, which is 1.5 cups of flour. Just gonna put this aside. One, and then my 1/2 cup measure. That makes 1.5. And 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. I didn't take my measuring spoons over. I'll just use the teaspoon here, but I'll fill it half full. Okay, cinnamon. And baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, and this also takes some baking soda, a teaspoon. Yes, darling? No, and not until Grandma's finished the show, okay, honey? All right.
Mm-hmm. Could I have another one? Just like when you like suck it off, it kind of like comes apart.
Okay. You just have to wait until I get the muffins in the oven, okay? Thank you, darling. And a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay, so I'm just gonna mix that up. So really, you know, this is just such a basic banana recipe, banana muffin recipe. Okay, now we're going to add that and just mix it together until it's incorporated. And you know what? I do it different every time. Sometimes I add the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients and then the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients. I don't think it matters, so don't worry about that. And you're just going to mix it until there's no more flour. Not right now, darling. Okay. Almost ready. Just gently. All right. Okay. So you know how I usually love the kind of the crust on a muffin. I like to just spray my muffin tin and and have my muffin like that. But for this muffin, because there's crumble on the top and there's butter in it, it tends to, you know, sink down and kind of might make a sticky little bit of a mess. So I'm using the muffin liners. So I'm just going to put a muffin liner. This recipe makes exactly 12 muffins. Okay. All right, I'm going to put this down again. I know, Holly. The kids just love it. You know, Charlie's in Halifax, and Charlie is, how old is Charlie? Is he 7? Yeah, he's 7, and Ivor is 6. And Charlie just can't wait to be on this show. And they haven't been able to come down from Halifax, as you know. Mm-hmm.
In summer, after school, Charlie's coming.
Yes, Charlie will be down here for a lot of the summer, as will Luke. Okay, so I'm just going to turn that music down a little bit because it might be a little bit loud. There, okay. So I'm just going to spoon this in to the pan. Kind of a heaping tablespoon. And I do have the scoops from Pampered Chef and all that, but I'm just, you know how you just know what you do, and I use my tablespoon. And then I go back and I refill what needs to be filled. Actually, Ivor was very, very happy to go back to school on Wednesday to see his friends. My goodness, it's been a different year, hasn't it, for all the kids? Just not just for us, but for the kids, you know? It's a different kind of socializing, and some have anxiety, they worry about that, and let's hope that we'll never go through anything like this again. This summer, maybe in mid to late July, you guys will get to meet our daughter Margie, the girl that started this whole thing. She's going to be coming home from Alberta. She already has both of her shots. She's very lucky. We only have, Cecil and I only have one, but it's coming soon, but I guess they're rushing it up, so maybe we'll have it before she gets home. Okay, here I am being scotchy. I'm going to get every little bit of that batter out of there. That's a bite for somebody, right? Okay. Okay, now just them on their own are just fine as, you know, as banana muffins, but we're going to amp it up here a little bit. So, the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up these pecans. You can use whatever nut you like. Maybe you like walnuts, or maybe you don't like nuts at all. Okay. You'll have to excuse me for a minute. I have to get Ivor a peppermint. Here you go, hon. You have one.
I want two.
Oh, of course. So, okay. Hi there. Yes, people, you add chocolate chips to them too, especially if you have family. Okay, I'm just gonna, I like a good chunk of pecans. I'm not gonna do this very much, just kind of a rough cut. I don't know if I have enough even here, but I have another bag here. But I'm gonna put that. Okay. See. Need a little bit more. A little bit more. Let's say that'll do it. And just chop that up a little bit. Okay. Okay, I think we're good. So, I'm just gonna do that up in a little bowl. Do the topping up. It's a messy topping, but it's really nice. It's really, really nice. So, a 1/3 cup of brown sugar. It says packed brown sugar. Well, it's pretty packed. And what next? 2 tablespoons of flour. I had that already. 2 tablespoons of flour. 2 tablespoons of rolled oats. I have a 2 tablespoon measure here, so I just need one of these measures 2 tablespoons. And if anybody's interested, that's just quick oats that I use. A 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And don't worry if it's a little bit more than a 1/2 teaspoon. We all love cinnamon. And the only thing I'm missing is 2 tablespoons of butter. Well, I'm just going to mix that up a little bit with my hands. And I'm going to get 2 tablespoons of butter. Okay. There now. And really, I'm going to just mix that with my hands as well. There now. I've got butter all over me, but honestly, it's the best way to mix this. I would mix it up until everything is, has come together quite a bit. Okay, that's really, really good right there. And I'm just going to use a tablespoon to put some of that on. I'm going to put it just on 9, and then I'm going to add the Nutella. Hold on a second. Is everybody still with me? How is everybody doing? I have my grandma's silverware set. You're lucky. You're very lucky. Edna McKay is watching. Okay, I'm going to put you back down, and we're going to do this. Take this over here. Okay, I hope you can all see that. Get that down a little bit more. Okay. So basically, I just do this and just do that. And I'll press it down a little bit so it doesn't just crumble and fall right off, right? It smells, gosh, smells so good. Of course it does. The brown sugar and the cinnamon and the nuts. There we go. Oh, if you get a chance to download that CD, honestly, every song, I know when you don't play something for a long time and you just know how good it is. And you miss it. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that be. And now I'm gonna take my Nutella and get a spoon. I've never had Nutella in the house before. I'm just gonna put like a bunch. I'm gonna just put it right on the top of each one. I've never even tasted Nutella before, but a good friend said, oh, that is so good. And I'm just going to take a toothpick and see if I might be able to swirl this around. Oh, that's not bad. Like, really? I've never done this before. Well, we'll see how good it is. How can you mess up with chocolate? There we go. Hi. I've never tasted Nutella before. That's really good. Oh, look, I hope everybody out there is smart enough to notice those trolls that are on there. Those darn trolls that go on there and they try to make you be their friend. Somebody even tried to create a Tunes and Wooden Spoons Facebook account, and some people were fooled and thinking that, you know, I was adding them for some reason. And I see a couple of those trolls on there. So kids, Tammy, anybody, they have the ability to stop that. So just ignore that. Somebody's asking if I changed the cooking time. In a loaf, I definitely would cook it longer than what muffins are because they're all little individual ones and they would cook faster. I've never made this into a loaf. I've made banana loaf, of course, but no, I've never made it into a loaf. I know, I'm cooking for me, and it's okay for me because I'm not selling my product, and it's okay to do that. Thank you, Tammy. God bless Tammy. She's after those darn trolls. Now, today, Tracy Morgan Ford, I'm in Port Hood. It is an absolutely brilliant day here. The sun is shining, and you'll see that when I take you outside. I'm going to take you out the back door, and I'm going to go around because the entertainers are on my front deck, and I'm not going to go through the doorway here. And I'm going to put this in the oven now. They all look so yummy. I'm going to put them in for 20 minutes, and I'm just going to test it with a cake tester, but I think 20 is pretty good for my oven for this recipe. It's been a while since I made them, but I was smart the last time I made them. I took a picture of them, so I didn't have to make them this week to show you a picture. Okay, 20 minutes.
Grandma,
Yes?
did I go in the house yesterday?
Not yet, dear. We're going to go outside now.
Outside?
Okay? Yeah, we're going to go outside. Okay, I knocked on the window of the door and the ladies are ready out there. And I hope you're interested in finding out a little bit about our Cheticamp village. What I love about Cheticamp, they have to be the cleanest people in the world. All the yards are pristine and everything is painted perfectly. And I know they're the best housekeepers in the world. They just are. And they're just, it's a lovely village. They take such pride. And there's a church down there, St. Peter's Church. And it's the architecture in that church is beautiful. You can see it online. It's just so nice. So happy to have somebody representing that community and that culture. Okay, let's go outside. Okay, I'm going to shut this off. Ivor, are you going to come outside with Grandma?
No.
Huh? Let's come. You get your shoes. They're over by the front door. Okay. Aiden is outside.
Aiden?
Yep.
Hey, brother?
Your brother Aiden is outside.
Why?
I'll tell you something that's happening at my house. Well, back a few months ago.
Grandma?
Just a minute, sweetheart.
Is that girl still like watering the plant?
No, she's gone home. Sorry, people, you know what I'm doing. I'm putting the tripod down.
Hey, Grandma. I didn't see Aiden.
Well, yeah, we'll go outside the back door here. So anyway, I'll just tell you. So a few months ago, my first cousin is a carpenter, and he did our front deck. And then this week, finally, the little lights that you put on top of the posts, they came. And anyway, it's just been a work in progress. But now we're doing the big deck at the back of the house because it's years and years and years old. But it's starting tomorrow. And so we're getting all kinds of things moved and have some of our flower beds done, but not all of them. I have a great gal over the road. Sorry. Ivor, would you mind getting the door? Thank you. And there is Laura.
Hi.
She's my helper today. And here's some of my little bits of flowers. I don't know if you can see that. And over here, another flower bed. The big flower bed we didn't do. I don't know if you can all see that. And this one, I just love it. It's so pretty this time of year when it first blooms. And all the trees, can you see the trees? They're all nicely in bloom now. It's just such a good time of the year. So everyone, can't see a darn thing, the sun. So we are here. Can you see these beautiful girls up on the deck? Okay, let me get their faces on there. There they are. Right here we have Nicole Deveau and her sister, or her cousin, Michelle Deveau, and they are the lovely singers from Cheticamp. And Nicole is a music teacher. She was teaching at the NDA school in Cheticamp. It's a full French school, right? And now she's opened her own, she had a part-time school, music school in Cheticamp, but now she's going to be doing that full-time. And she's a composer and a lover of her Acadian culture. And perhaps she'll tell us a little bit about that.
Maybe so. How about we start with the song, though? Is that
Start with the song. You guys lead it. Great, and I see everybody there. I'm not good at this.
good? We are all learning. This COVID thing has
Made us, I know.
developed new skills. All right.
All righty.
Here we go.
That was good.
Well, thank you very much.
Oh, did you guys like that? How fun. Great music. There's 471 on here today.
Imagine.
So just kind of imagine that you're in Strathspey Place in Mabu, the Performing Arts Center, and it seats just about 500. So you have a full house.
There you
pretty
go.
much.
It's
Pretend.
It's fun. Michelle said that coming here. It's fun to have a gig, and you know we've been doing the Facebook Lives too, and you know, but it's fun to get out. And
and just a different venue.
And especially with weather like this. And you were mentioning the clean Cheticamp, but I'd say you guys are pretty well groomed here too.
Well, we're trying. You know, years ago I kept adding on to the flower beds, and now that I'm getting older, I'm like, Oh my God, what did I do?
Yeah.
But I there's a gal that just lives on East Street here, and that's what she used to do at a previous job at the distillery, and now she just lives down there, and every year, the last 3 years, she's come and helped do this and make it just beautiful. So I just love her. Virginia, she's great. So tell me, what can you tell me about Cheticamp?
About Cheticamp? Oh, lots.
Okay.
So much. Well, first of all,
Any Habs fans there?
oh, we won't get into that one. We will not. Yeah, so we're a bunch of Acadians, I guess, that live. There's a few communities on the island that are Acadian descendants, and Cheticamp being one of them. And today we do have a mix, though, of cultures in our beautiful community. If you haven't been, come see us, and
Yes.
we will love to have you there. But we do have a French school there, and most of our services there can be done in French and in English. But yeah, we're Acadians. Our settlers came here in the early 1600s, and we've been sticking around through the easy and the not so easy times, and we're still trying to keep what we have alive. And I think the younger generation, once we get the kids, you know, into it, not just learning about it, but being a part of it, I think that's what really helps keeping a culture
alive.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
it's not just knowing about it, it's actually being a part of it.
Being a part of it and learning the old songs, perhaps,
Right,
and
right.
just
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
great.
and for the old songs, for example, like I've been teaching for 12 years there, and the kids love singing. We don't necessarily tell them that this is an old traditional Acadian
Yes.
song. There's a natural enthusiasm when it comes to singing these songs.
Do you know what? I'm sure that there's something in them that just it resonates with them.
It's a natural,
awesome.
yeah.
You know,
we
it's
often
just
say
the osmosis of being
Yeah.
in with families,
Yeah,
grandparents
exactly, yeah.
that.
And
that,
there is
celebrated
something
that.
about the rhythm as well, you know, like, and for Cape Breton to be a fiddling
Yes.
island, so we do get that, but just the feel, and it's when you, like when I met my partner and he said, oh, you Acadians with your funky rhythm, and I had never realized, you know, because we grow up with it and we do it naturally when it comes
Yes.
to our own songs, or so for us it's a natural feeling. But when you meet someone from outside and they make you
Yes.
realize, and they're like, wow, our people were pretty smart, you know, and they were doing
Totally.
awesome rhythm things
Yes,
when they didn't
and
know.
it's so identifiable. Like just that first song,
Mhm.
and it was just like, oh my God, this is it. This
Yeah,
is
and
the
that is
Acadian
one
style.
of the one we just did is one of the Acadian songs that is performed. You know, it's sung pretty much
Throughout,
through
yeah.
different communities in New Brunswick or in Quebec, or so that's a song that would be quite popular.
Yes,
Iconic.
absolutely.
Iconic. Yeah.
Yeah, iconic.
yeah.
I love it.
Iconic.
Well, listen, I'm going to sneak back to the kitchen.
Don't let the muffins.
I can't
burn.
let the muffins burn, and I'm just going to leave you in
Perfect.
charge of this.
In charge? No, don't leave us in charge. That's never a good
How
idea.
is anybody? Everybody's there and they're watching, and I think they're loving it. So
Wonderful.
I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Okay.
Okay. All right, so Michelle's going to keep going with one of her compositions. We were saying we have a lot of our traditional songs that have inspired us and that kind of help us compose ourselves. So would you like to tell them what you're going to sing?
Of course. So throughout the years, I'd say for the past maybe 5 years, Nicole and I have traveled to the Magdalen Islands, and we have fell in love with the people there and their love for music, and especially their love for our music. They love the songs from Cheticamp. They know all the words. We feel like real superstars when we go over there. So I wanted to write a song about the Magdalen Islands, and I was secretly hoping that I would write a song that would become as popular as all of the other Cheticamp songs that have been written. Not necessarily about the islands, but just in general. So I have written this song last year, recorded it during the pandemic, released it, shot a video, and it's gotten pretty popular. So I can't wait to go over there when we'll be able to and sing it for them. So this is a song called Allons-y. Allons-y, allons-y, rassemblant une gang d'amis, on quitte dehors le Cheticamp vers Cap-au-Meuil. Vogue sur les vagues, on navigue vers le large pour retrouver les bons souvenirs du temps passé. On aperçoit l'île d'entrée, on est presque arrivé aux îles qui nous ont si manqué. Oh, Madelino, préparez le bateau au quai, nous arrivons bientôt. Allons-y, allons-y, rassemblant une gang d'amis, on quitte dehors du Cheticamp vers Cap-au-Meuil. Vogue sur les vagues, on navigue vers le large pour retrouver les bons souvenirs du temps passé. Rendu à Fatima, je me sens sous mon toit, c'est là, on a passé du bon temps. Allons au panier, on s'en va au clavier sortir, la guitare puis chanter. Allons-y, allons-y, rassemblant une gang d'amis, on quitte dehors du Cheticamp vers Cap-au-Meuil. Vogue sur les vagues, on navigue vers le large pour retrouver les bons souvenirs du temps passé. On va à Cheticamp, chanter 5 ou 6 fois avec Frédéric sur le violon. Chantons la plage Saint-Pierre, en bevant sur la mer nos voix, elle résonne en plein air. Allons-y, allons-y, rassemblant une gang d'amis, on quitte dehors du Cheticamp vers Cap-au-Meuil. Vogue sur les vagues, on navigue vers le large pour retrouver les bons souvenirs du temps passé. Vogue sur les vagues, on navigue vers le large pour retrouver les bons souvenirs du temps passé.
Well, thank you. Oof. The mosquitoes are, or I don't know what they are. So Cheticamp is
They found us.
Cheticamp is a windy village. We have lots of wind. We were commenting on the trees here. The trees are gorgeous. We don't have as many big trees home because the wind is a little crazy over there. And it's a southeast wind that we call les swat. And we do get a few big ones. We also have like, what's the word? What do you call it? A policy at school that says, you know, if it's blowing at a certain amount, they'll cancel schools because it's really quite dangerous. We've lost some roofs and some trees, and I lost 2 car windows because I was irresponsible and parked in the wrong spot. But yeah, so we don't have a lot of mosquitoes. But yes. All right. Je vais faire en 2 portes parce qu'on va faire so I'm going to do the title track to my album. I recorded this in 2012. And I was actually, before the pandemic, I was thinking of putting a new album out, but that was kind of put on hold, and you know, we're just kind of, plans were shifted a little bit, so eventually it'll come. But this was the title track, and growing up, I was kind of in the middle there of singing traditional songs and composing my own songs, and kind of stuck in the middle, so I called this song and my album Entre deux portes, which means between 2 doors. It's not as poetic in English. I don't know. Some things just work and some things don't. But anyway, here we go with Entre deux portes.
J'y
my goodness. We see something. Oh my gosh, that looks delicious.
So here is the finished product. You can see that none of them have the topping on it, and you see I'm anxious to try the ones with the Nutella in it. They smell amazing.
It smells really good.
So you'll be definitely getting a little taste of this before you go. But I put them in for 20 minutes, and because the recipe says 20 to 25, you know, oven temperatures like that. But I put them back in for 2 more minutes because I used my cake tester, and there was just tiny little residue on the tester, and I left them in for 2 more minutes, and they're perfect. So I'm going to put them on the cooling rack, and I'm going to turn you back over to these lovely gals.
Yeah, I think we'll do one last set with a bunch of traditional songs.
Wicked. That's
Yeah.
great.
We never know how long these last.
Yeah, these can
so.
last
Perfect.
10 or...
You take as long as you want, and it's a beautiful day. What else do we have to do but listen to
Exactly.
music? You
And we
know?
were saying when we got here, we were so well received that, you know, our beautiful board here, and you reminded us of people that we grew up with. We're like, oh my gosh, she reminds me of Kristen's mom, and like, you know, we have our, it's great.
Thank you. By the way, a lot of people were asking another day. I had my charcuterie board out, and this past Christmas, every one of the children, we gave them one of those charcuterie boards. A follower recommended, Pat Cormier had told me about this guy, and his name is Serge Viano. And I don't know if I'm saying that right. Is that right? And he lives in New Brunswick, and he you can look him up on Facebook. Serge Viano Woodworking, I believe, has so many things. He has crib boards. He has so many things. But if you were looking for something for a special occasion, we had them all engraved with the kids' names on it. If you're looking for something, make sure that you order it online in plenty of time, because my order took 3 to 4 months to get all 8 of them, because I got one for Cecil and I. That's the one we have. And I think he has 2 kinds of wood, walnut, and perhaps it was maple. I have the walnut, I believe. And anyway, the kids just love it, because everybody, when we get a chance to entertain again, I was so excited making it up today. And you know, you want to go somewhere, you can have lots of nice things on the board. But just look him up there on Facebook, Serge, S-E-R-G-E, Viano. There's lots of great people on there that can throw that little... But like I said, that's the only thing that I didn't know it would take that long, and you just have to be prepared for that, and you won't be disappointed with the end product. And lots of great woodworking ideas. Okay, I'm turning it over to these gals. I'm going back in the kitchen, and I'm going to make some tea on this hot day.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to do a set of old traditionals. These have been passed on through generations in our community and in different Acadian communities. And yeah, so we kind of put them together, and we play every week in Cheticamp. So if you're in town, just come find us. We're either at the Doryman or at the Gabrielle restaurant. And we have a tendency to sing these traditional songs, and usually the people like it. So yeah, and you can also find us online. And so I'm Nicole Deveau, Michelle Deveau, and our music is out there. Come find us, come say hi, and here we go.
Je suis venue, ma charmante Joséphine. Je suis venue pour vous faire mes adieux. Je pars pour un très long voyage. C'est à sa
that's good. I didn't understand a word, but it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It's just the
That's
rhythm.
the fun of
you
it.
could step dance to that
That's
too.
right.
Good.
Oh, that is so awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Merci,
you
merci.
very much for
you.
coming.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'm just going to go in and say a little goodbye
Yeah.
to the people. I'll take this with me, and you'll have to talk to Laura. You know, she was a chess aunt.
She wasn't really.
She was a chess aunt, and
Very
her
nice.
dad, they live in Reserve Mines, and her dad's mother was from Cheticamp and the
That's
island, I
interessant.
believe. So there's
Oh,
things,
really?
there's things to talk about.
Imagine.
So,
All right. Well, thank you.
you.
Come find us. Come say hi.
aren't they the most beautiful girls too? Look at them. And are you single?
I'm not.
Darn it. Okay, I'll take you back in the house. Don't mind me. You know, we're always trying to pair up people. If you can find a good person and keep them in Cape Breton. Okay. Take you in. My tea is probably a little bit cold. A little bit, not too bad though. Okay. Bear with me for a moment. I want to shorten this up a little bit. There, that's better. So, see, I have a nice plate full. You see them all? They're so pretty. Oh, they smell so good. It just amps up the banana just a little bit more. Okay, now I put my glasses on and I can see what you're saying. Great music. Weren't they so good? Doesn't matter if you don't understand the words, if it just makes you happy. Isn't that great? And to celebrate the culture and what was passed on to them, you know, and keeping it alive, especially in, Nicole's music school. And anyone who's going to that, they're lucky. I don't know if it's children or adults, I'm not sure. But I hope you enjoyed that. And if you ever get to Cape Breton, you have to make it north. Of course, if you're going to go around the Cabot Trail, just go through Cheticamp and then it's the Cabot Trail. If you've heard of the beautiful Cabot Trail, and Cheticamp is the village at the bottom before you start rising up on the beautiful highlands there. They did sound so good. So I'm going to do a little taste test with you. Let me see. Which one should I have? I think I have to go for the standard one first. And poor Aiden is here, and he's severely allergic to nuts, so I don't often make too many things when I know that they're going to be around. But anyway, here we go. Oh, they look so good. I'll probably crumble this all over myself and the floor. Okay. Just a really nice moist muffin. And they're really good. Oh, do you think I should try the Nutella? Like I told you, I had never tried Nutella. I'll just take a piece of this. I won't bite into it. Oh, that's good too. That's really good. don't you? I mean, besides adults who love chocolate and nuts and all of that, I bet you the kids would love this if they love Nutella. My Cape Breton teacup. So, next week. Now, I told you guys long ago that I came into my mother's handwritten scribbler. My brother had it, got it from an aunt who had passed away, and she had had my mother's handwritten scribbler. Like, my mother died in 1955, so, and you know, she was sick for a lot of the early 50s there. So probably she wrote this in the late 40s. And so I got it, and I was so excited to get that scribbler. I was just so excited to get that. And something was stopping me. I couldn't bring myself to make one of the recipes. And I don't know why it was that way. I really don't understand why I had that kind of a feeling. And so the cookbook publisher, you know, he said, okay, we would like to include a couple of your mom's recipes in the book and the scans of the page. So I scanned about a dozen pages, and they would pick from that. And then, you know, he kind of said, well, you're going to have to try a couple of those recipes. And it was just so hard for me to do that. It's so strange for me to do that. So I dug deep earlier, I guess it was last weekend perhaps, and I picked a recipe. Had raisins in it, so typical of the old Scottish people. They always had raisins. And it was called a buttermilk cake. And it had a ton of raisins. It would almost remind you of a sultana cake. Oh my gosh, it was so good. But I'm serious, I was reading the recipe and I was touching the pen, the ink, the words, and I had tears. I just did, and I said, what is going on? I mean, it was just an emotional thing. So anyway, I made the cake, and there was no, one of the things it said was lots of spices. So I did the frequent spices that you'd put into something with raisins in it, like ginger and cinnamon and cloves. But then I had to pick the second recipe, and I had a harder time picking the second recipe. I'm making that recipe. It's a pie, and I'm making it next Sunday with you. You need 3 cups of rhubarb. You're going to need 3 cups of rhubarb cut into, 3/4 inch cubes, like you would normally cut your rhubarb. You need 3 cups of that. And it is called a Rhubarb Butterscotch Pie. So it's got the rhubarb in it, and the butterscotch part is just you beat up a couple of eggs, and you put brown sugar in there, and a couple of tablespoons of flour, I think, and you mix that all up, and you pour it over the raw rhubarb and you've lined your pie plate with a uncooked pastry. And you put it in the oven. You don't put anything on the top. You bake it like that, and then you put meringue on it. Oh my God, is it ever good? It is so tasty, and I got along better doing that. But the other thing, I was going to go back to the buttermilk cake took 2 cups of buttermilk with the raisins and all of that I made. I went over to my sister's on I think it was Wednesday, and I brought her a chunk of the cake, and so her and I had a piece of cake, and I had given the recipe to my brother in Michigan, and his wife made it. And that day that we were there, it was our brother who died when he was 28. It was his birthday. So we all had all had a piece of Mommy's cake on his birthday, and we sang John Donald happy birthday on that day. So I don't know, it's just kind of meant to be. And I know that you'll like that cake, and maybe I'll make it sometime, but that recipe will be in the cookbook. And of course, next weekend we'll do the rhubarb butterscotch pie. If you're a pie lover and if you're a rhubarb lover, you're going to really like it, I do believe. And so people, we've come to the end of another week, and I know I've seen where some of you are mentioning the award, and for anybody who doesn't know, I received a Dr. Strang Community Hero Award, and it was given to 20 people in Nova Scotia, and it was for people who had in some way helped people during the pandemic to be happier or whatever. And somebody nominated me and sent in and words to go along with it, and it's anonymous. I don't know. I suspect it's somebody out there, and if it is you, thank you. It is just quite an honor, and we all in our province love this Dr. Strang. And every day or every second day, he sits at that table with the Premier of Nova Scotia and gives us the rules for COVID. And he's the chief medical officer, and he's just a wonderful man. And the award included a necktie from him, and it's framed. Oh, where is it? Oh, it's right here. Is it upside down? It is upside down. There it is. Can you read that? And when this has passed, may we say that love spread more quickly than any virus. Isn't that just, I love that man. And he wrote a little blurb for the back of my cookbook. How awesome is that? So I'm so proud, so humbled, and just so thankful. And for all of the people that were nominated, I know they were all good people, but it's just so nice to have it. And next Sunday, if the weather is good, we will have another deck party. Robert Bouchard is coming back. Robert Bouchard, and I think he's bringing Nick Boudreau with him. And Robert Bouchard has a cousin by the name of Reg Landry. And Reg, he does an amazing job of reciting Robert Service poetry. And I think he's going to do one or two of those during the entertainment section. So it'll be something different and something great. And please don't let it rain next Sunday, because I really want that. And I don't think my umbrella will be here before then. I had to order it online because I couldn't get one in the store for my table. It's a little bird had its way on the top of my old one from last year, so it's going in the garbage. Well, I was going to show you. Look at the lilacs from my mother-in-law's tree. She's no longer here, but the lilacs live on, and the smell of them, they're so beautiful. When you get up in the morning, you come downstairs, that's what you smell, the lilacs. Okay, everyone. Hi, Leone Egan. She's watching from New Brunswick. We found out since this started that Leone and I are related. She lives in New Brunswick, imagine that. And my brother did up the genealogy on there, and we are cousins, and it's so nice to know that. So people, thank you all very much for your kind remarks and everything that you've given me this past week. And it made me realize how much you really, really, really matter to me, how much you matter to me. And I can't tell you how good that makes a person feel when you're all just sending me such beautiful messages. It's just, I know you guys think that I'm doing it all, but I swear to God, I am getting so much out of this that it never would have happened. And you know, even, you know, with the kids, and we're calling, and we're, you know, we're all in touch, and it's a family job, and we're sometimes we'll be just like shaking our head, but I don't know, it gets done, and you get this back. And now we're doing a cookbook, and I'm working with people working on the introduction, you know, and it's just kind of a little life story in there, and it makes you think about how you lived your life, and the people that impacted you on there. Hello, sweetheart. Who do we have here? There's little Ivor. You gonna say hi to everybody?
Hi.
And but anyway, it's very special. It's very, very special. So you know that you matter to me, and I'm talking to you right there. And thank you for watching another week. And have a wonderful week. And know that I love you, and I want you to love one another. And thank you. Always thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Hey, hi, it's me, Charlie. If you like Grandma's video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe. Give it a like and subscribe.